I prefer university where I engage in international program development and also educational support for international students as well, and also domestic students studying abroad as well. It's a pretty general topic, isn't it? Trends and issues, something that some other scholars and practitioners have already talked with the same title or similar titles. But I still think that it might be worthwhile going over with you because there's been many policies made and initiatives taken for the past, especially for the past 3 decades, and the fundamental issues arisen out of those initiatives during that 30-year span, and many of those issues still remain unsettled as of today. So that's why I'm here. That's what brings here to share my views with you, to find out what can be done to move forward for internationalization of higher education. So let's start. I might have to skip some slides, so many slides, so please bear with me. Let's start. Outline fast fact of higher education in Japan, key policy issues, remaining issues, that's the point, and challenges and resources as well. Fast facts, for institutions have been growing up, 702 in 2003 to 782, and also along with the enrollment to 2.80 million students in 2003 to 2.86 million, modest increase, but both been increasing. Shrinking population and retiring baby boomers born in 47, 49, who probably may go back to school for advanced degree in the future. A small number of non-Japanese constituents and adult students. By constituents, I mean international students, also non-Japanese faculty members. And decreasing student mobility across borders, both inbound and outbound, both decreasing, unfortunately. And need for globally competent graduates. More and more Japanese companies going out overseas to set up their branch offices and factories overseas in need of individuals who are capable of handling cultures, different cultures, people from different cultures, so other cultures. Increased advanced degrees holders in poverty. Actually, this is the problem. It's been happening. The population of domestic advanced degree holders, PhD holders especially, in poverty is been growing, unfortunately. So that's the situation. That key policy initiatives. It's 80s, 90s. As you might want to look at the list I just gave you. 80s, 90s. You might want also to take a bird's eye view and analysis of what happened in this period. You may want to refer to Makoshi-san's article in the Journal of Higher Education that were listed somewhere in the resources. That he described nicely what happened in this period. That might be there, but still, quickly, especially measures in 82, this act really opened up doors to non-faculty members when enabling Japanese presidents to appoint non-faculty professionals to, as tenure track or tenure faculty members. That's the landmark act. And also, everything started with this, as you know, so there are 2 points to aim to increase the number of international students. Back then, only around a little over 10,000 to 10 times as many by the year 2000, which was accomplished, by the way, 3 years behind in 2003. And the deregulation of universities, which is kind of another landmark act, which, because it abolished boundaries between general education and specialized education, and also while setting the, let me just quick look at the my reference here, also set rules for curriculum. For example, setting the mandatory 45 hours of study per credit, and also 10 or 15 weeks of study period per semester or term, and also 124 minimum credits for graduation. It also stressed the importance of postgraduate study as well, and they significantly increased the seats of graduate schools. That actually ended up ironically created so many domestic PhD holders in poverty right now. So, see, short-term study work programs. In addition to increasing the degree students enrollment, the degree students also government decided to support reciprocal exchange of non-degree students between institutions in Japan and overseas, which has been working actually. It ended up for the past 20 years, the number of agreements signed have increased dramatically. But I don't know whether many of them are in action or not. But anyway. But key policy is 2000 examination. EJU is another test. Is a single test, and prior to that, international students had to take two separate tests: subject test or scholastic aptitude test, and also Japanese language proficiency test. But this serves for both purposes to measure both scholastic aptitudes and language proficiency. So it's implementation renewed. So, like I said, 100,000 international plan, but its mission was accomplished in 2010. Then came this renewed international policy. The government had to renew the new policy for the next decade or so. Incorporating public, that's another big move. National universities in 2004 and public universities, municipal and prefecture universities, in 2007. And Asian Gateway Initiative, the government set the world's international student share of 5% in the future. Then came another big plan, as you know. So in this plan, as you know, this added another initiative like courses in English and career support for international students, another new initiative project. And its core project is Global 30, in which government selected the first 13 institutions, as you remember, and was unfortunately ceased in the first year when the Democratic Party took over. And so 2010 new growth strategy, it's in which it's a very landmark policy because a numerical goal for domestic students study abroad has been set at 300,000 as well. So that's strategy for global human resource development, and there's also growing need for globally competent individuals, and this is a joint effort by the government and also the private sector. Reinventing Japan project. So this is a part of the initiative to produce globally competent individuals through exchange, student exchange under institutional agreements with USA and ASEAN countries. So key post-12 immigration reform that really reduced the non-faculty, non-foreign residents in dealing with administrative procedures significantly. Over 30 plus, then came 30 plus. Only 3 years ago, they started this and selected 42 institutions for their international programs with an emphasis on study abroad and multilingualism, English plus. 2003, Japan revitalization strategy, when the government aims to have at least 10 institutions ranked within top 100 universities, world university rankings, and then came the second best plan for promotion education, in which the government reset the numerical goal for outbound students from 300,000 to all the way down to 120,000. Strategy for international student intake, and so they set another intake goal as well at the same time. And first, and at the same time, with an emphasis shifting to domestic students studying abroad, next decide to hold this study abroad fair called the first Go Global Japan Expo that was held last December. I was there, and the English language education reform again to make English language mandatory at the primary education level. And then this year, Top Global, as you know, Super Global, the English translation Top Global University project, and when they will select 30 institutions, and 10 of which aims to be placed eventually among top 10, among top 100 institutions in world university rankings. And so deadline is the end of this month. You probably many of them are kind of busy, making yourself busy, filling out forms. I guess right now, Tokitati Japan Study Project. So the shift to study abroad, domestic students studying abroad, government decided to jointly with the private sector set up this study abroad scholarship. So the first year they're going to plan general scholarship fund to 300 students nationwide out of 800 institutions. So not too many, very small number of students will get this general scholarship. So well, the goal, let's just go over non-Japanese faculty employment. In the process, these goals were repeatedly brought up because it's very difficult to progress. To be progressed actually. So for example, non-Japanese faculty employment increase. The effort to increase the non-Japanese faculty members was repeatedly brought up in 82, 2008, and 2014. The same as the international student intake, accommodations, still not so Japanese language support is still up on the agenda, and professional placement. Like somebody said before, my speaker, staff for professional office staff rotate every 2 to 3, 1 to 6 years. So it makes really international education operation going very move very difficult. So. Program development is still an issue because we have yet to start, for example, a joint degree program with overseas institutions. And career service for students is not yet fully operationalized. Domestic students studying abroad has started being brought up in 2005 and 2010. Numerical goal was set at 300,000 then, down to, like I said, 120,000 in 2013. And of course, it's the English course. It's a very popular topic. Everybody's working on this. And global content graduates also another important topic as well. So these are the goals that are brought up in those key policies and initiatives. And so, 5 minutes? So remaining issues are admission process and curricular, academic investor staff placement, and study student mobility, the funding, and dissemination information. For example, admission process and on-site entrances. Mostly, the majority of universities still have the overseas applicants travel to Japan to take their on-site exams. So usually testing sites are limited to Asia and Far East, including Russia, not outside Asia, outside the region. And the use of EJU is only 56% of the whole body, for higher education body. Curricular student intake timing still the majority of the institutions start the academic year in April, and language instruction is still primary language instruction is still Japanese. And foreign language education is leaning heavily toward English still, compatibility with other programs in other nations. Intake, for example, total students admitted other than in April is 7,000. It's not high. Also, course offering in English 222 in 2011, 180 graduate schools. And university, so it's a university center exam. Most examinees, high school senior, mostly choose English as their foreign language test. So staff placement is a problem, and so number of foreign faculty is still home is your main job, and red one is number of non-Japanese faculty, and blue one is the whole. And this makes it easier. Percentage. Take a look at green line. The percentage of the non-faculty members is remains around 5%, which is not too high. So, student mobility, downward trend in student low, international student enrollment, and imbalance in destinations, Asia for inbound, non-Asia for outbound. Still, we have the same trend. And imbalance in numbers since 2001, 55, almost time. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Okay, so since 2001, the gap between inbound and outbound has been widening. So, although there's a bright sign on the lower right hand corner when number of outbound students under exchange agreements has been increasing, starting with each sign actually. And outbound imbalance. This shows the imbalance between outbound and inbound. So for outbound, mostly students go to English-speaking countries and Chinese-speaking countries. With an inbound, we accept mostly students from Asian countries, probably China. 60% of the international students is from China. So funding is another thing toward a small number of elite institutions, individuals, and amount tended to be large, fixed term. And scholarship for inbound, outbound, 8-to-1. So significantly more still funding on intake rather than outbound scholarships. So low higher education budget among OECD nations, only 1% of the whole mixed budget. So it's I don't know how much percent is suitable. So dissemination of information is a problem, and challenge is increasing capacity and diversity, obviously. So compatible information, proactive delivery information, balance, increased student mobility for both inbound and outbound, teaching, learning is L2, also promoting multilingualism, not just English, but for other languages as well. It's important. And non-Japanese constituents in larger numbers. Another important to raise the quality of the whole education across cultures, staff placement, and meaningful funding and program development. So latest month and joint degree expected to begin in March 2015. And the departure from internationalization impulse as part of ODA for practical intake. So
you're running out of time. So please wrap up.
Okay, let's finish up. Student mobility expected to go up again because of the rapid increase of non-degree exchange students. So academic time other than 10 or 15 weeks now possible underway. Actually, from right here, 3, including Waseda University, 3 students are starting to adapt, for example, quota system this past April. So that's a good sign for that diversity. So, I guess the destination agreement, all going back under numbers of students. Resource, it makes just PS and also NAFSA, EA, Egypt. That's a good resource as well. And journals, research institute, education, Hiroshima University that provide damn good resources, publications. We see the education, of course. Well, there are many other good resources. Okay, thank you very much.